Welcome back to Pigskins and Points, your go-to podcast for all things NFL football. I'm your host, TJ Swinson. Tune in each week as we cover topics such as recent games, player stats, hot takes, and big picture storylines. If you love the game, this is your go-to podcast for everything NFL. It's game time. Let's huddle up. All right. Welcome back to Pigskins and Points. I'm your host, TJ Swinson, and today's February 11th, and this is the third episode. And today joining us is Teddy Stettinius. Teddy, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Let's get things going. So, first point is let's do a little recap on the NFC and AFC championship games. Obviously, you're a big Commanders fan. It's a heartfelt game. What happened? What were you thinking during the game?
Yeah, I think it's our defense is our big problem. Jane Daniels and what he's able to do with the offense that we have is incredible. But when you're going against Saquon, Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown and all those players, it's hard as a defense to stop. And we just didn't have the DBs or the D-line to really match them.
Definitely. And then Bills and Chiefs, obviously that's, a rematch, 2 years in a row they've played each other. Chiefs have come out victorious in both years. What were you thinking this year? What was, were the Bills going to get it this year? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I think that one was definitely a closer game, and people were obviously expecting it to be close. Yeah, I think the Chiefs and their experience in the playoffs, and Mahomes as a leader, Allen's getting there, and I think their whole team is getting there and being a more round team. And it's only a matter of time until they beat Kansas City or Baltimore or whoever it is that comes across their path in the AFC. But they're there soon.
Yep. And that's what also I was going to talk about is the refs and the Chiefs. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation between, are the refs, siding with the Chiefs? Is there something going on there? Obviously, a couple missed calls in the game, in the, dropped interception or whatnot. So what are you thinking? Is it true? Do you think there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes?
I always like to believe that refs are. I like to believe that there's no bias, but I think at the end of the day, it's a business, and sometimes just personal bias plays into it. I think this was definitely a better Super Bowl with the play calls
For sure.
than in the past, and so that was good to see, and I felt like they were letting the boys play, which was nice.
Yeah, and I think I try to think that, logically the refs are going to call a fair game. I can't imagine, obviously they're making all this money, and whatnot, and all the drama that's going on with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I can't imagine they're truly going to side with them, just this is their job. This is like a big deal, obviously. I can't imagine they're actually going to side with them, but at the other end of it, it's, like you said, it's a business at the end of the day. So now some sour topics I know you're not going to like, but, Eagles putting up 55 against the Commanders. Like you said earlier, it's Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, but I think what we have in Jane Daniels is something special here. Yeah, rookie quarterback playing great. So,
And the weapons he has, obviously he has Terry. And Scary Terry's an absolute beast. But then after that, there's just you got Alamani Zaccheaus. Noah Brown was there for a little bit, got some abdominal or something. But he doesn't have the weapons to make us a championship team, but he has the skill to get us into the playoffs.
Right.
I've been seeing a lot of talk about T. Higgins possibly coming over and pairing him. With Terry, get that double team off Terry.
No kidding.
And then running backs we could probably use, and then Myles Garrett.
That's Myles Garrett requesting a trade from the Browns. He was and drafted by the Browns in 2017. A lot of history with him, but that would be huge. Like you said, the defense really was the part that's lacking in terms of the Commanders team. That would be a huge get.
Yeah.
Huge get for them.
And I think it's just the message that's showing that there is a turnaround in the culture in Washington. Like Stephen A. said, there's a kid in D.C.
Yep.
And people want to come play with him. He's a leader. He's a winner. He pushes the play.
Right.
I don't know. I think this is the worst team the Skins are going to have for a long time.
No kidding.
Which is
Absolutely.
great to say.
Absolutely. They've got a huge future ahead of them.
Yeah.
Huge future ahead.
But I will say, I don't know, like it was 55 split up on us.
Yes.
It didn't feel like a 55-point game. They put up 21 in the fourth.
Oh,
And so it's, you take out that fourth quarter, and obviously it's part of the game.
oh yeah.
It's a lot closer.
And you'd have to imagine some of those are just pity points. At that point, you know, there's really no more game to be played.
Exactly.
So, and I think that was similar to what happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So obviously the Eagles, you know, absolutely routing the Chiefs. What was going on? The Chiefs had nothing going. Patrick Mahomes was shaky in the pocket, you know, no real like the pass rush was just undefeated from the Eagles. And it was huge.
Something I saw was, I'm pretty sure the Eagles didn't blitz once,
No, they didn't.
Which-
I heard them say that too.
which is a crazy. The fact that Mahomes, who normally has so much kind of poise in the pocket and feels comfortable, and that Chiefs O-line definitely is helping him. But
Yeah.
the fact that they were, I think it was 6 sacks,
Yeah.
which
Mahomes has never been sacked
Yeah.
that much in a game ever. It's crazy to think about.
and for that to happen in the Super Bowls, there's something just must have gone wrong.
Right. All right. Now we are getting into the start, bench, cut section of the podcast. Rules are very simple. I give you 3 players. They all play the same position. You got to tell me which one you're going to start, which one you're going to bench, and which one you're going to cut. So starting off, we have quarterbacks. All this past season,
Just past season.
just this past season, one of them it's a little tough too, but Derek Carr, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. I know Derek Carr didn't play a whole lot this year. But we'll go Derek Carr in, you know, the last 5 years.
Yeah. The way Sam Darnold looked against the Lions, I think I gotta put him in that bench position. I think, and then Baker's just torn it up this year, and especially with his past and just kind of the different teams and the way, like with the Panthers and stuff like that. It's just been him kind of just getting trashed on.
Yep.
So I think definitely got to put Baker in the start.
Okay.
Darnold in the bench, Carr in the cut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously Derek Carr didn't play this year, so that's tough for him.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got wide receivers. 3 superstars here. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase.
CD, I'm cutting.
Really?
Yeah.
Off the bat?
Off the bat.
Okay.
All
right.
I think those two guys are in a league of their own.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I would say they're probably, if they're not the top 2, they're the top 3.
Yep.
I want to put Jay Jettas at start. Jamar, like,
All right. It's hard not to.
It's
How
hard,
can you not?
but-
how can you not?
with Sam Darnold as your cornerback,
Yep.
like, you gotta put, he just was, and didn't he get injured this season too? Yes. Yeah. And still had the stats he put up.
Which is unbelievable.
So,
It's the same thing you kind of see with, like, on the last podcast, we talked about Malik Neighbors having like 4 different quarterbacks, and he still put up insane numbers as a rookie. All right, and then last one here, we're going edge rushers,
okay.
D linemen.
Who's coming over to DC?
Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt.
That's a tricky.
Some freaking animals.
Oh, this past season?
Sure, we'll go this past season. Yep. Actually, no. Let's do all time.
All time.
All time.
Ooh. All right. Wow. I don't want to look like a Cowboy hater because I am.
No, that's fair. You can.
But I think I got to put Micah back in the cut,
Okay.
TJ in the bench,
Okay.
and Myles Garrett at start.
Really? Okay. I would have to start TJ Watt in this situation. I think he's a freaking animal.
I was debating between Myles Garrett and TJ. I think Garrett has been able. I think Myles Garrett has been able to do more with less.
That's 100%. I would have to agree with that. Yeah. He hasn't had anything around him. The Steelers have always been known to have, a solid defense. They're always a solid team. They're always a playoff team. The Browns, I don't even remember the last time they made the playoffs, and he's still.
Yeah, it was probably Baker back in more.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Well, Teddy, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's going to be it for today.
Perfect.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Pigskins and Points. I hope you got some solid insights to stay on top of the game. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you got any questions or hot takes, email us at pigskinsandpoints@gmail.com and we'll talk it out next time. Until then, it's game time. Let's huddle up.